William, how was that? That seemed quite hard work.
Yeah, today it wasn't an easy game. We scored the first goal and we conceded 1-1. On the second half, they scored the second one. But yeah, as always, we never give up. We come back and score the second goal. And yeah, that's it. We are lucky we have a second game at home, and we will give everything to win next week.
Was the disappointment taking the lead away from home and then conceding afterwards from a set piece?
Yeah, of course. It's always bad to concede two goals, one in set pieces and one in counter-attack. But it's okay. We didn't lose. It's the most important. And we play the next game at home.
And how was it playing alongside with Jacob? Because you haven't played in a game before.
Yeah, it's his first game and he played well. And for me as well, I played the first time with him. And we did well. Unfortunately, we conceded 2 goals, but it's okay. We played well and that's good.
How much training had you done together beforehand?
Yeah, we train a lot together because in training we change the pair always. So that's why we play good together. And it wasn't bad to play with him for the first time.
And where do you think this leaves you in the tie?
What did you say?
Where does this leave you in the tie? 2-2 after the first leg.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Of course, we wanted to win here, but it's okay. We didn't lose, and we have to be focused on the next game. And we are lucky because we play at home, and we'll give everything as always.
And what does it say about this side that again you come back from being behind?
What did you say?
What does it say about your side, the Arsenal side, and the mentality that you go behind and you come back again?
Yeah, it's always, we know they can score, but we know that we can come back always. So we never give up, and that's a good mentality from the team, and we will do this every time. But it's always better to lead, but when we don't lead, we have to come back.
William, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Impressive performance from the goal-scoring centre-half. Would they have taken it pre-match, a draw?
I think they still wanted to win the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the end, I think it was a fair draw. Just a word on Saliba, just a player that Arsenal bought 3 years ago, went out on loan, by the way, for 3 seasons. And you'd have been thinking, am I really going to be an Arsenal player? This is his first season as an Arsenal player. In the first very match of the season against Palace, he was the man of the match. And he's been brilliant ever since. I think you're just growing in stature, just listening to him speak there. The goal he scored tonight, his performance, he's a proper central defender.
Is he Arsenal's senior centre-half now, already?
Oh, without doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Gabriel make for a really good partnership. I think he's ahead of Gabriel. But yeah, I mean, he's doing everything you want. There's a hunger. He's taking responsibility. He wants to get into the next round. He's giving everything for the cause.
I guess, not that he's using it as an exercise, but Arteta finds out about the strengths and maybe the weaknesses of his squad in this competition.
Yeah, and I think he viewed this game as an opportunity to do that, given Sporting's status. They weren't exactly flying in the league. They looked almost vulnerable. You know, they find it hard to score in the league. So he saw this as an opportunity to try out those players because he knows that this next couple of months he's going to need that depth. He's going to have to call on that depth. There's players coming back, but there's also players out, certainly in attack. You know, Martinelli starting down the centre was one example of that. But, you know, changing up the partnership, the pairing at the back. But going back to Saliba, he could be there for the next 10 years. I mean, a centre-half pairing of old, maybe.
I like the way you used the word old there. I see a little bit of Van Dijk in him. I don't know about you. Obviously, if you contribute both ends, you're doing a lot as a centre-half.
He's very composed. He's strong. Again, he's got that ingredients of pace there. Look, he's... I suppose Tony Adams was noted for scoring from set pieces. He's got in on the act again. It's a nice habit, isn't it? To your head to be the first on the ball in either box. Really good header, heads it down.
Makes his own space, doesn't he?
Shoves off Gonçalves, who's the blocker. So if you're organising, Gonçalves is never going to tower up over him. No, nothing at the back post at all. Irrelevant. Gonçalves loses him because Saliba shoves him off, gives him that space, and then it looks like he's got an uncontested header. But he has shaped that whole scenario.
Yeah, maybe communication, lack of match practice amongst centre-half, goalkeeper, etc., leads in part to the 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think the goalkeeper has to learn from it. It's, you know, when you wake up, you make up your mind to come for the ball and you go and reach it at the highest point. If you look, the goalkeeper comes and then he backs off. He kills a little bit the central defenders.
He's not set, is he? He's not set. Look how wide his legs are there. There's no way you can commit to moving. It's an in-swinger. You've got to come and use the pace of the ball whipping in.
Look how close it is. Look how close it is to the goalkeeper.
It's 3 yards out. So as a goalkeeper, you have to command that area. Absolutely. You call everyone off. You expect your defender. Keown did nothing. He shrunk into his own shoulders there. You expect your defenders around you to protect you. But they didn't get a shout. They didn't protect him, but the goalkeeper needs to take command of that area.
I tell you what I do when I'm playing for the next one. I'm heading that. And I'll take my own goalkeeper out because if I can't rely on him.
But you know what? Ramsdale will deal with that. He would take that out of your decision out of your hands.
For sure, Ramsdale would have come and dealt with it. But then it's a goalkeeper who's not played much football, so let's give him a little bit of a break. But then he has to learn, doesn't he? He has to learn quickly from his mistakes.
Yeah. As Rachel said, Arsenal actually came out second half brightly, but then nice bit of play from Sporting for the 2-1.
Yeah, as we said, 3 really good opportunities from an Arsenal point of view. And this would have been disappointing. That run in behind there gets in between 2 strikers. Again, the goalkeeper, it's a reaction, isn't it? It's a reaction save, and he parries it. You could say into harm's way, but the reaction there for Paulinho is really outstanding, gets to it first.
Yeah.
It's just a tap-in, but I don't think we can approach the goalkeeper on that one. It wasn't ideal where he puts it, but none, the reaction then from the striker.
It's impossible. Where you deflect it, you're not intentionally deflecting it. It's just getting an arm out, getting something on it. 3 yards out, point blank, gets down low to his right-hand side, and Paulinho's the one who reacts first.
We talked about Martinelli through the middle, didn't we, pre-match? Got that one electric glimpse of what he can do all by himself.
Yeah, I think we saw that.
Yeah, they will. They'll get Ugarte back next week, but they'll lose Coates and Morita, both booked. And thus, 2 yellows they'll miss next week. That'll be a problem for Sporting.
And they were pretty lightweight bookings as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
So they'd be disappointed with that because going in with 2-2, as much as Arsenal wanted to win that game, they know the home advantage is massive. It is, whereas going there for Sporting, they needed their full strength team, which is that team, plus some to come back in. So I'm sure Arsenal will make changes as well going into that home leg to ensure that they get, because they want to be fighting on as many fronts as they can. They know they've put on display today that they have the depth of squad to be able to do that. And
I think looking towards the weekend, they come away unscathed. There's a problem in that centre-forward position. Trossard, another one who's out. Nketiah, Jesus, nowhere near really getting back.
Training, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's an area. So you wouldn't want to lose anybody else tonight. They're still in the tie. They can finish it off in the next game. And as we say, the Emirates now is really rocking for every game they play there. So that's going to be something that they won't be really used to, Sporting.
Gunners fans, you will, I'm sure, if you can't, be there. Full house expected. We'll be there for sure with you next week. Manchester United are getting going in the snow up north against Real Betis. That's live from Old Trafford on 1 and Ultimate. Next, following us here on 2, Sevilla take on the Turkish side Fenerbahce. Also, of course, in the Europa League. In terms of what's already happened this evening in the Europa League, good win for Bayer Leverkusen against Ferencvaros. Roma also 2-0 winners for Jose Mourinho against Real Sociedad. Good result against the Sociedad side that's been good in La Liga this season. The 2-2 we know about, and quite the game in Berlin. 3-3. Saint-Gilloise were leading 3-2 late in that game, but Union Berlin, who are going very well in the Bundesliga, have equalised. So 3-3 with all to play for in the second leg of that. Meanwhile, in the Conference League, West Ham 2-up at Larnaca. With the second leg, of course, back here in a week's time, so they're well placed. And Anderlecht Villarreal 1 apiece. Sheriff have lost at home to Nice.